Good morning, everyone. So let's do this little test with everyone out there. I'm sure everyone will jump on when they can, and even if you're watching the replay. Take your two fingers and place them gently on your throat. Can you feel your pulse? If not, can you put it on your wrists? Can you feel it there? So if you found your pulse, which I believe you should if you're watching this, that means that you more than likely have parasites. Parasites is what the topic is today because it's more common than people even realize. It is in so many things. They hold on to so many toxins and they can affect our health so much. They get into our organ systems, they stop things from working the way they need to. It's pretty crazy what these little things can prevent from working in our bodies. They can be anywhere from a microscopic parasite to a worm, which could be, I think the largest that I read was 20 feet or more, something like that. Pretty gross, pretty crazy. And these things can live in your body for years and years. And basically, I have 20 plus years here. And they're taking all your nutrients. They're taking everything that you're putting into your body. They are feeding off you, if you will. And this is a problem because you're missing out on whatever you're eating, your nutrients that you need to build your body and be healthy and have your strong immune system. That's being stolen from you. And it's a common thing that a lot of people deal with. So where in the body can we find parasites? They can pretty much find themselves in anywhere, and they can move around as well. They can be in your brain, they can be in your joints, they can be in your intestine, your lungs. Liver is a common one, your nose, your ears, even in your sinuses. I thought I had a picture on Instagram because I've used the Navage before and I've used some Para3, which is a Cellcore product, and that's very good for getting rid of parasites. If you're going to do that, by the way, make sure you only put a small amount or check with your practitioner because you can really feel a burn there. So I've been using the Navage quite a bit, and you can see when it comes out. I don't know if you're familiar with the Navage. There's two compartments in it. You fill the top part with distilled water because you don't want to have any chemicals or anything putting into your system. So always use distilled. So distilled will go in the top compartment, and when you're using it, that water will be basically going in one nostril and out the other because it works on a suction system. And then it will pull out any debris, any molds, anything like that, and including parasites could get sucked out of your sinuses. So if you're someone who's experiencing congestion, allergies, things like that, or even, things like that, the Navage is very helpful. This is just one layer of something that you can do to help with allergies. And ultimately, that's going to come back to the liver if you're having sinus issues. Parasites are quite a problem there. So as I said, I don't know that I have the picture on Instagram, but I'll make sure maybe I can post it later. I can find it because it's as I said, it's really gross to know what parasites are and actually that they're in the body. It's pretty gross to know that there can be multiples of them coming out of the body through various methods. One being the nose. They can come through the skin. I think there's someone who mentioned something about it coming out of the, I don't know if it was coming out the eye or was it the nose? Anyway, the best way that we want them to be removed from our system is ultimately the bowels, as with any other toxin as well. Oh, how are we getting these parasites? These parasites that are dramatically impacting us. And the reason I thought I'd talk about this as well is because next week there is a full moon coming up. And this is when parasites are really active. They're mostly water, so they're affected by the shift when it comes to the moon, and this makes them more active. There's also a melatonin, serotonin aspect in there as well. So I think it's the serotonin receptors they have tons of, and it makes that higher, I believe it was. So they're just going crazy. They're having parties. They're causing more symptoms to happen. And since I'm going to symptoms, I might as well just go to what things they can cause because there's so many things that they can have in your body. So many symptoms that they can cause you to have, from allergies, as I've just mentioned. You could have arthritis, bloating, intestinal issues, diarrhea, bloating. Anemia is a big one. So if you're going to be experiencing energy issues related to anemia, they're also going to be affecting your hormones, because the blood is the path for your hormones to get to its target tissue or wherever it needs to get to. And when parasites are there, they're eating your blood, they're eating your iron. And this affects the pathway for your hormones to get to where they need to go. And hormones are the messengers for your body to tell it what processes it needs to do. And if it doesn't have the roadway available to get the messages across, things are not going to be working the way they need to. You're going to end up having symptoms in regards to hormone things as well. So that could be PMS, that could be menstrual pain, that could be clotting, et cetera, et cetera. What other things can parasites cause? Constipation. They actually want to survive. They want to thrive inside your body. That is their home, and they don't want to leave that home. So they will actually release a chemical that will prevent them from being released out of your body. So if you're experiencing constipation, it could be tied to a parasite issue. And if they're in your liver, they can actually cause your bile to be sluggish. This is another way that they could be causing constipation. And with the constipation, you're holding on to all your toxins. Your body is reabsorbing these things, and again, leading to more problems, more symptoms. You can have brain fog, because again, if you're not releasing all these toxins, your brain, your memory, your recall, things like that can be affected. And it's very frustrating when you've got that brain fog, you've got that haze, and you just don't feel on your game. You're just not, you see this person that you've known your whole life and you just can't recall their name, things like this. I know that's a pretty extreme case, but has anyone had that moment where you're going to, for example, going to pay for something with your credit card and your PIN number is just gone? Has anyone experienced that before? Isn't it kind of awful? Like, where did it go? Like, it was there yesterday. Why is it not there now? And it could be because some toxins in your body. It could be because of parasites in your body. And where are they coming from? They have there's many different places they can come from. They can come from produce, like vegetables and fruits. They can come from eating rare meats. Basically, my preferred is steak, of course. I'm sure most of you know who watch often. And I don't like it cooked to death. So I like it more on the medium rare, and there's going to be parasites. This is just the reality of our environment. There are going to be parasites in foods, in produce. If you have pets are likely to have parasites. Like, how often are you taking them to the vet? Are they being treated for heartworm or some sort of parasite issue? They have medications for this that they treat them with. There are other animals out there, even horses. They have medications and protocols that they go through with their animals too. So why are we not doing that as well? Where's the barrier from parasites getting from your pet to us? There is no barrier. So we're also susceptible to having parasites. So like dogs, cats, horses, ferrets, etc., etc. Whatever animal you could be around, maybe you live on a farm. And with those horses, you have cows, you have pigs. There's all other, pardon me. There's lots of different animals that you can be coming in contact with and getting parasites from. On the note of, where was I going there? Oh, cats. That's right. They often tell women who are pregnant to stay away from cat litter. And why is that? It's the toxoplasmosis. This is a parasite that can get in the air if you're stirring up the litter box, pardon me. If you're stirring up the litter, this is a parasite that can get in the air and you can breathe that in, and that can affect the woman who is pregnant. But why can it not affect anyone else who's not pregnant? Why Why is it just a concern for the person who's pregnant? It's a really interesting question to ask. Parasites, as I said, they're everywhere. You can be traveling and pick them up in different areas, but your body's not used to it. The different water you're drinking. On that note, water is somewhere where parasites can be. Walking barefoot outside. We often talk about grounding yourself outside and just reconnecting with the earth's energy and bringing that stress level down. A side effect of that would be perhaps picking up parasites. This is something I would never compromise on, because if I'm going somewhere where it's warm and it's sunny and then we can get out on the beach and ground, that is something I will do every time. I will not avoid something like that. As I said, parasites, they're just a reality. They're in our environments. You can't avoid them. It's just a matter of making sure you're taking care of your body in order to maintain that balance, maintain your immune system so things are working the way they need to, and you're not experiencing more symptoms. Okay. There could be an issue with even young people. Babies can have parasites. And when they first arrive, when they're first born, you may wonder, like, where do they even come from? How could babies have parasites? Well, their first exposure is actually in utero. It's from mom. And it's also where a lot of toxins can come from as well. And if you're hearing this and thinking, I didn't know that. I didn't know that I could be giving my child toxins. This is why we want to clean up the body before conceiving, before having babies. You want to make sure your body is ready and able to carry that child and bring them into the world healthy. And this is something where that's a good place to start with your own self before thinking about planning a pregnancy. But that's just something to think of when it comes to parasites. We carry them and we can pass them on to other people around us. This could even be from a spouse. Maybe they're the exposure, depending on where maybe they work somewhere where they have more exposures, again, on a farm, or maybe at a vet's office, things like this. These are where they can come up. They can even cause insomnia, sleep issues for many people. If you're just waking up in the middle of the night, you just can't sleep, they can really cause a disruption for you. And it's pretty annoying. But once you know why it's going on, there's always something, there's always a solution for it. And this is kind of where quantum nutrition testing can come in. We have an quick and easy technology that works amazingly. We can find out what's going on with your body, find out what's not working. And it's kind of I don't know if this is an old reference as far as, I'm going to show my generation here. If you ever played Nintendo back in the day and you were aware of Game Genie. Game Genie was like the cheat codes in order to make it further in the game or give you an advantage of some sort. And this is essentially what QNT is, quantum nutrition testing. We basically have direct communication with your body in order to get the answers needed to find out how best to help you. We ask your body what it needs, what's the priority, and your body tells us what it needs. That's the coolest thing. It's a custom program designed for you when you work with us. So if you're curious to know more about how we can help you, all you have to do is set up a discovery call with us. I'm put it in I think that's in the About section on Facebook. It's in my bio on Instagram. So if you want to know more about quantum nutrition testing, or if you're struggling with health symptoms, things that have been going on for years, things that maybe some of the things that I've mentioned, some of the things that people think are just a normal part of their day, from headaches to bloating, constipation, diarrhea. What else is common? Sinus issues, allergies. These are the things that we often deal with, even PMS symptoms, anything related to your period that is disrupting your life, disrupting your day, causing you to either pull yourself away from your job, your life in some way, if it's impacting you that much, this is something, just be aware of that and know that there are solutions to help you get through that. And this is where we can help you. So just set up that discovery call and we'll have a conversation and see how we can help you and see if we're a good fit. That's pretty much all I had. The full moon's next week. So you might notice that perhaps people might start acting a little different, or maybe you've heard someone say before that full moon's coming. This is when the emergency rooms are busier. This is when crazy people come out. Even the vet's office that I used to work at years ago, we had the same kind of conversation around the full moon. So just be aware, notice the shifts. Maybe even your kids get a little more anxious or irritable around this time. Just, pay attention. And if you have any concerns or issues around this, please reach out to us. We're here all the time. I love the parasite emojis you put there, Kate. So yes, please reach out. Any questions? We're always here. Thanks for watching and have an amazing weekend and live well naturally.